Hi everybody, how are you doing? My name is Shannon and this is my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you for joining me for this live. I know nobody yet. It's impromptu. I didn't know I was going to do this yet. I just had some time, truthfully. I was thinking about what is my video going to be for tomorrow morning because I like to put out a video that goes out 6 a.m. my time, which is mountain time. And I've been pretty consistent on it. I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I don't know. So instead of, I don't know, thinking about my video for tomorrow morning and working on that, I figured I'd go live and just chat with everybody and see what everyone is up to. I'm going to go ahead and turn my iPad on as far as the live is concerned. So as people pop in, I will be able to go ahead and answer any comments or any questions or anything along that line. It has been so long since I have done a live. There we go. Okay, so now I am on that so I can see some comments. Perfect. That looks great. Hi, how are you doing? It has been so long. I was wondering how you're doing. Tina, what have you been up to? I emailed you, but I don't think I got a response back. At least I didn't see a response, but it was like, what have you been up to? Hope everything has been okay. And let's see, who else do I have here? Christy, hello, how are you doing? Yeah, I just thought, might as well do a live. I'm working on a blanket. It's growing. Look, see, February for the, Christy, do you remember me? I'm not sure. How do I know you? If you commented, is that what you're asking about as far as that goes, or what? Is there something particular on that? I'm not positive. This is the blanket that I'm working on. Oh, family in Colorado Springs. Okay, how are you doing? Yeah, it's been nicer now. It has been so much nicer. I have been going to work with a thin jacket on, so much better than the negative 33 that we were having for a while there. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Let's see. I apologize. I have to grab the iPad because even though that's scrolling there, I have to go like this, and that's not a good look. So let's see. Oh, Tina, you got your new place? That's wonderful. Okay. Didn't have the email. All right. Well, I'm glad that you're in a safe place now, a lot more comfortable. Yeah, what I was saying before you two joined in is I'm supposed to be doing my video for tomorrow morning because I like to have that video out in the morning. And I didn't know what I was going to put on. So instead I figured I'd go live. I'm still going to make a video for tomorrow. I just don't know what I want to put. Probably because I put a lot of time into this. This is my blanket for things we're making Thursday for February. Actually, I just started it sooner because I didn't want to finish my slippers. Did we notice a theme here? I'm just saying. I didn't want to work my slippers. I didn't. They're for my daughter. She's excited. She wants them. This is my second slipper. It doesn't look like much. And then here's my first one. So when I get them both done, both the pieces, once this piece looks like this piece, I'll sew them together. I promise I'll do a video on that because it still warps my brain just thinking that that's even a thing. I don't quite get it, but I'll do that. I have to definitely because my daughter doesn't normally watch my channel, but I was talking about that those are too small for me, but it'll fit my daughter or one of my daughter-in-laws, something like that. And my daughter watched that day and claimed them. I'm like, oh my goodness. If you're actually watching and commenting on my video, you can have them. There you go. So I now have to finish it. It's kind of like the anglerfish now when I had to finish that for my sister. Yeah, I did. She got it. She finally got it. That thing took forever to get to her. It was ridiculous. I have to tell you this story. Okay, so my sister, she got that anglerfish in the mail. Do I have a picture of that thing? I don't have a picture of like that one, but let me see if I can pull it up in the book. Okay, so if you didn't see it, I made one of those, right? The anglerfish, and I used those colors. And I had it in a package that took forever. I mean, it stayed in Denver for a long time, and then it went to Florida and then back to Denver. I don't know why. It was just scanned and scanned and scanned, but you know, it finally made it. But it was packaged in a purple mailer bag, and you know, I taped it down super tight, and then that the I had pipe cleaners in the top part right here, you know, that part and everything to make it a little bit stiffer and to stand up. Well, I had folded it down to where it could be, you know, packaged really tight for the package. And I sent that. Well, my sister's blind. So she said it took like 30 minutes to get into it because she didn't want to use scissors on it. Go figure, right? You know, soft product. She wanted to use scissors. And then that thing pops up and everything. And then she's feeling it. Like I said, she's blind. So she's feeling this. And I told her it was an angler fish, but she didn't know what an angler fish looked like. So, you know, she's expecting like a bass or a trout or something, and she has this thing, and I can see it in my head. I'm not gonna lie, because Rennie, her partner, everything was talking about it, and he's like, you know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with this. So he's like feeling, you know, she's feeling the gold bulb on this, and then the other parts, right here, she's feeling that as it pops up. And notice the eyeballs are 3D and bulged out. So you have the blind woman feeling the fish, trying to figure out what this thing looks like, and once she opens the package, this pops up and these are bulbous. I will let your imagination go. You know exactly where she was going with that. Yeah. I'm like, no, that's not what I sent you. That's not what I sent. But she was cracking up. I don't know. So let me see what the comments are. I just thought that was really funny. I'm like, I didn't send you anything naughty. I didn't. So that was good. Oh, so you guys are doing better and warmer. Let's see. I am doing fantastic. I am procrastinating. And like every good procrastinator, I'm doing this as opposed to my video and in my projects and working on things. Or I'm working on projects that I want to, as opposed to things that I'm supposed to, like my slippers. Although I have had people comment and everything that, wait a minute, you know, January's not over yet. I still have, 6 more days to finish my slippers, and then it's not a failure. So that was really encouraging. I think I might actually pick them back up and work on them. You know, I don't know what it is about them. They're beautiful and I love them, but I'm working my husband's sweater and I'm enjoying that. And then I started the blanket for the things we're making Thursday. And I'm really happy I did, because I had all that yarn from Joann's in these big boxes. And it was like, what am I going to do? So somebody suggested I go ahead and I cast on the blanket with it and just start. And I did. And I feel much better. I really do. And it's growing. It's like 10 inches wide now. It's got to be 90. So take the win when you can. Take the win when you can. Okay, so Christy, you had a big order from Joann's also? Oh my gosh, those big boxes. I got big boxes and I got those huge skeins and everything. Did you get like I did? Did it stress you out? I'm so happy I did not get all the big twist yarn. Well, I'm happy and I'm not. I mean, it was $1.87 and I would have loved to have, you know, collected like multiple of every color, but the storage thing. So I'm really happy I didn't. And you know, when everything was said and done, I had 46 skeins of the Wool Ease in the Red Heart brushed acrylic. I don't think I realized I did that. Yeah, that's a lot. So, you know, it's okay. It's fine. I'm working it. It's fine. Oh my God. So which one, Roxana, which one were you saying is lovely that you'd like to make? Is it the blanket that I'm working on or the slippers that I'm working on? Because I know I've held those up so far. Hi, Amanda. I was just watching your video and everything and went, wait a minute, before it's too late, I'm going to go ahead and go live and then watch the rest of yours. So, you know, there you go. Great minds, right? We got this. Hey, Laura. Oh, did you see that Linan from Nina's Knots Crochet was giving you a big shout out today? She was all kinds of, she doesn't normally do the Thursday videos, but she just hit 3,000, which was amazing. And she was shouting out all sorts of channels and she really shouted you out earlier. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, she was just talking you up one side and down the other. It's pretty cool. Just wanted to let you know she was doing a great job. Thought that was cool. All right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, Christy, no kidding. You talk about the mother load with the Joann stuff. I mean, as much as I talk about with the space, it does freak me out. But I just, it was $375. I mean, how could I not get it? It had to come home, right? And truthfully, if I would have bought it in the store, I wouldn't have gotten as much because I would have visually seen that I filled more than a cart or what looked like more than a cart. But instead, it came in 3 boxes. Yeah. At least it's done. It's done. It's done. It's right on that side of the right over there that you can't see it in the camera, and it's just stacked. It's, you know, and I gotta kind of, you know, like a hoarder's path around it, right, in my room. Yeah. Oh, I should do that. Should I show you guys my mess? Maybe. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if I'll be able to get that. Let's see. Let's do it. Let's see. Hey, there you go. I can see everyone. Oh, let's see. Let me go like this. See, I got a stack everywhere. I got messes. I got all sorts of stuff. I don't know. I'm not seeing what you're seeing, but there you go. I had a big mess. I have to clean my room. I do. I had just semi-sorted it right before doing that Joann order. And yeah, I'm not the only one though. I mean, I've had other people comment and everything on how much stuff that they've gotten. So it's, you know, great minds think alike. We've got this. It's there. Amanda, oh my. See, I'm telling you, it's a bit of a mess. It's just, it's a bit of a mess. Well, Amanda, I've never seen all of yours. I've seen your videos and everything. Oh, Amanda's Tap Mama and the Beg Brigade that you're seeing in the comments, just so you know that. I've not seen all of yours. I see what you have showing behind you or what have you, but, you know, we try to put forth a pleasant, orderly, clean appearance when we go on camera, right? You know, we don't always want to show our dirty laundry, so to speak, right? You know, I'm like, it's a little bit everywhere. It's just, and it's funny when I get ready to do, when I talk about that for like the Monday video, I have stacked, you know, right here next to me stuff, and I've got the chair next to me that's already stacked. It's just like this pink one. So I got 2 of these, and it's just stacked with messes and what have you. It's just like, yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? Just like any creative mind, I get in here and I pull things out, and I'm like, what am I gonna make? Oh, that's the thing. I want to start a sweater, and I had this in my mind. Okay, so do we see that hat? Did we all see this? That hat that looked like it had the dripping going down on it. Oh, there it is. This thing. Did we see that? Okay, so that thing for the mystery yarn challenge right here, and you see how it looks like it has drips. So I have all that arcane fiber yarn, and Laura, Mad Mimi's crochet and farming. She's like, she's not showing anyone. I always wonder what's on the other side of the camera for everyone. I really do. So on this, I got this harebrained idea. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but you see how this looks like it's all dripping down and everything right there? And I think that's so cool. And I've got all those different colors of yarn that I got from Arcane Fibers, and I got the solids, right? I have the charcoal and then the mouse gray. And I was thinking if I did a sweater with fingering weight yarn, because, you know, hello, it's one of my favorites. In the neckline right here, I either use the charcoal gray or the mouse gray. And I do the pattern, and I have like those little drippy down things right here going all around the neckline, and then, you know, doing the fade with those other colors and the yellows and stuff. But that will stretch the color. I mean, I have got plenty of yarn, but that'll kind of stretch that. What do you think? Is that kind of weird? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but like this, either that one or where's the other one? Oh, here's the other one. Right? And I think probably the darker charcoal, right? And putting that around the neck. And then I've got all those yellows and the golds and stuff, and then having that right there. What do you think? So I have to wind them. I haven't wound them. That's all in my head right now. That's the problem. All that stuff's in my head, and it goes around in circles, and I have lots and lots of ideas, and sometimes I cast on the projects. Not always. Not always. Oh, we've got a bunch of people. Did you see the sweater? Yeah, look, see? I've been nonstop. Look, what do you think? That's my blanket. It's growing. I got a lot done today. I got off work, and that's all I've done. Yeah, I should be working on my slippers. No, I want to work on my blanket. That, and I've worked on my husband's sweater. Is it around here? No, it's still downstairs. And I was working on that, so I have the two versions. I have the, you know, the one that fits both of us, and then the one that what fits him. I did try the band on him, so that does fit. It does. And then this one's going to be his with his colors. That purple though, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. I really like that. And then I also looked at, as long as the fuzzy doesn't bother me, that's what this one is right here. The lavender with that mink color, that would be an amazing looking sweater also. And doing with the acrylic, easy care, whole 9 yards, like, oh, I have a lot of things going on in the head. I'm just saying, just lots, just lots. Well, see, and that's exactly what I was thinking. So right now, this is, I've got it on 60-inch cables and it stretches. So, you know, it's the 60-inch size. And then doing the 60 by 90, the twin size. And that's when my husband's like, yep, that works. That looks good. And then I was trying to ask him, like with the, because it's just a basket weave. That's all that is, right? What I'm going to do is 3 blocks of the color, then 1 block, or 3 blocks of the Fair Isle, then 1 of this, and, you know, do a staggered pattern, and then going down to 2 blocks and 1 of the this, and, you know, then 1 and 1, something like that. I don't know. I have it drawn out. We'll see what happens. We'll see how I really do it. He didn't want a huge amount of this, like all together, like the inspiration that I had originally thought of. So I'm like, whatever, it'll fit. Yeah, but it'll be a total snuggle time. I am so looking forward to this one. And then we'll see if I start a second one, because I'm sure something else will come along. Oh yeah, I can guarantee something else will come along that will be, I have to make it. It's just, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's how that works. I'm gonna look at this again so I can see some of the comments. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I'm still cracking up that you're not going to show everything. I showed. I don't even know exactly what I showed. I might watch the replay. Maybe I won't. I don't know, just so I can see what you guys got to see. I just held the camera and went, there you go. Probably not a good idea. Okay, so Amanda has, what, 15 totes and a little bathroom next. Oh, you're hiding yours. Yeah. Believe it or not, all my stuff is in this room. Yes, we have a full house. You know, a house and everything. We're empty nesters, so my husband has 1 bedroom that he gets to do what he wants to with his crafting things, and I have this room that I get to do with mine. Younger years, you know, younger times in our lives, we didn't have that. You know, it was the matter of kids needed the room, that type of thing, or bunked up depending where we lived. You know how that goes. So this has been a lifetime in the making, being able to have this and have the shelves and have it all out and where I can see it and I don't have to dig in the bins, which has been the case before, plastic bins and totes and things, or in the garage or the basement and everything. So this is all in my room, and I have lights and it's on the shelves and what have you. And yeah, lifetime in the making. And I've prided myself. I'm very proud and happy that it has not spilled in the rest of the house. It's getting ready to spill in the rest of the house. It's getting ready to explode. The other day, more things fell off top because, you know, the things that are on the top is, you know, let me see if I can see, things that are on the top, I try to keep those in the plastic bags or something. You know, makes it a little bit easier than just the individual skeins because they're definitely going to fall. And they've started to slide off, you know, and it's yarn. I mean, if you're going to get hit in the head with something, yarn's not a bad thing to get hit in the head with. It's so much better than, you know, like any other things that you can think of. So that's my attitude as far as that goes. And then I actually have a couple of those, the blue bins like I've got here, a couple of those are the kids' toys, right? The grandkids, when they come over and everything, they know which bins are theirs. So that's their toys and everything. And I'm like, I love my grandbabies because they have space in Nana's yarn room, right? I've given them dedicated space, right? So I think that's kind of funny. I'm like, yes, you can have some space. You can do it. You've got your own stuff. So they'll come in here and they'll get things. And the chair that I'm sitting on, the seat lifts up, and it's got the storage right there, so all the teddy bears in that. So I've got both chairs with that, and they'll come in and they'll do that too. So they've never been afraid of my yarn room. It is not childproof. They will come in, and I've got containers of stitch markers and darning needles, and they'll dump those on the floor, all ages, and then pick them up one at a time. It has never been baby proof. So they've always learned, they always have a love of the crafts, coming in with Nana's room and playing with the stuff. Like, okay, there you go. Their latest thing that they like to do is weigh the yarn. Drives me nuts. It's cute and it's adorable, but they don't want just the yarn that's right there. They want to climb the shelves to get the different yarn. They want to pull yarn out. They're like, hey, what's that one skein way in the back? Let me climb up there and grab that one. Let me go weigh that. But they'll weigh all the yarn. So that is absolutely adorable. But they'll grab everything. It's like, weigh this, weigh this, weigh this. If it's not nailed down, they're weighing it. It's kind of funny. Do they try to step on the scale? Don't do that. Don't step on the scale. It's not that type of a scale. It's like, my husband will come in and rescue me. He's like, okay, everybody, out of Nana's room for a little while, as I'm over here going, all right, they're just playing. It's not going to break anything. It's not going to hurt anything. Because, it's yarn. I can pick it back up, right? It's fine. So, but they are adorable. They do like doing that. Let's see. Oh, you see, that's me. I wanted to, one of the things in my head, because I always have these weird things in my head, right? I just, for a lot of years, I was raised as an only child, right? So I have my own imagination, and I didn't have a room in here to do it, but with all that yarn that I got from Joann, what I had visioned, if I could have gotten my husband to agree, is to lay the yarn on the floor, pretty much burying me under the mountain, and then him take a picture from on top and looking down and everything. And in my head, it was like a magazine shot. I don't think I could have done that in reality, but in my head, it was going to be cool. I need help. Sometimes I think I need professional help, right? Well, yarn addict right here. So I've got all of that stuff going on. It's like one of my other shawls, I still have to do I finished it, but I have to do a photography session with my daughter, because I think to really do the benefit of that particular one, it's one that I made out of one of those large cakes of sparkly yarn. I want her to take pictures. She's a photographer. And to style it and then show all the different ways that you can wear this particular asymmetrical shawl before I did the video. The shawl's been done for quite a while. I just have to actually pin my daughter down and we can go do a little photo shoot or something along that line. Like, come on, honey, help me out. Help me out. Let's do this. We got this, right? Come on, mom's on the YouTubes. Gotta help me, right? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, right? So, I think I am just so cool when I take pictures and I add them to my videos. Or I've even done the little video in the video. Oh my gosh, that's cool. That's styling. I can't do all the other things that everyone else has done, but I can do pictures in my videos. That's professional. I got this. I'm right there, right? And then it's funny because there are times where my coworkers will watch my videos. They don't do any knitting or crocheting, but I know they watch them because they'll make comments like, oh yeah, well, one of them, she's like, I like your shorts better than your long form. You're funny. Okay, that's what did I say? I don't know. But that's pretty cool. I don't know. Oh, let's see. Okay. Yeah, Amanda, you have lost a lot of weight. 105 pounds. Holy, no wonder nothing fits you. No wonder, you know what that means? That means you get to make your whole new wardrobe again, and you are learning how to knit, lady. So since you're learning how to knit, pretty soon you'll not only want to do your crocheted cardigan, you're going to want to do a knit cardigan. I can help you with that. And the other thing too is you get to use less yarn, so that way you get to make more projects for yourself with the same amount of yarn that you used to use before. Bonus. Yeah, it's all the way you look at it, right? Just spin it, right? Marketing, you got this. But yeah, if you want to hear about that and everything, definitely Tap Mama 73, Tap Mama in the Beg Brigade. Check her out. Go watch her channel, everything. She'll tell you all about it. But she makes all sorts of cardigans and crocheting and really working on the journey of knitting. Kind of like Lenan from Nina's Knots Crochet is really trying to get all of us to join her in doing the Tunisian crochet. I'm not on board yet. I will still do Tunisian for things we're making Thursday, so I will get there, but I'm not on board yet, right? But she's working on it. She's like, come on, Shannon, join us. You can join us. It'll be fun, honest. Okay. It's kind of like spinning. I think spinning's beautiful. There are so many people that spin, and you take the fluffy, roving, whatever, and then you make your own yarn. No. You do that. I will take the finished yarn and then make something. You can take the fluff, the cotton balls, turn it into yarn, and then make something. That's a whole nother collection. I already collect yarn, and I use it. I do use it. So I already collect yarn. I collect patterns, right? Written patterns. I have my own little pattern library, right? You know, magazines. I have some magazines that are original to me, like not hand-me-downs from, you know, mom and dad and, you know, aunts and uncles and everything else. My original magazine's 40 years old. So I do have a decent little bit of a library, right, collection with some of those magazines and stuff. So, like, you know, back in the 80s and what have you. Like, how is that 40 years ago? How is that? How is that 40 years? How? Just no. It should not be. But did the math gods tell me it is? I don't know. It's just weird. It's like, when do you think 2000 happened? Am I the only one who thinks 2000 was like last week? Just, am I the only one? Like 2000, you know? Who's a coworker? They just got a commuter car and they were telling me how much they spent for it, whatever. It's like, oh yeah, I picked up a 2006. I'm like, hey, not bad, right? I'm thinking 6 years old. It's pretty much a classic, a 2006. It almost qualifies as a classic. I'm not thinking that way. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. So who else is stuck at 2000? Is it just me? No, I don't know. I just, yeah. Oh, let's see. See, you know, oh my gosh, that is so true. So I graduated high school in 1987. So when I hear people talk about things, you know, and you know, I relate that because, well, I graduated high school then. And then I'll see, you know, I've had coworkers and I think, well, I was born in 2007. How is that a thing? Like, how old are you? Right? No. Right? You know, and so I get what you're saying. Like, what do you mean? 87? I remember that, you know, the hair bands and everything and, you know. Yeah, that's how that works. Where did the time go? Where did the time go? How my grandma? Like 5 times over. 5 of them. I got 5 of them. How? I know how. You don't need to tell me. I do know how that happens. But no, how? No. See? Yeah. Laura, I don't know how old you are, but no, you're not old. No, we got this. It's okay. I hear tell it's just a state of mind now, and I just prefer to just act childish. So that way, if you know Alzheimer's or anything ever sets in, the kids won't know the difference. Keeps me at home as opposed to someplace else. That's just how that works, right? Yep. Yeah, see, so let's see, we've got a born in 68. See, I was born in 69. So I'm like, we're right there. We're neighbors. We're right there. We got this. Yeah, it's like, what, how? I don't, you know, 69 was not that long ago, was it? Evidently it was. I get that too. Because, you know, when I have to show my ID card and everything, I'm like, I was born in 69. Like, no, you weren't. I'm like, who lies about that? You know, the only person who lies and says they were born in 69 is when they were born in 59. You know what I'm getting at? Just, no. People don't lie about that. That's just not how that works. You know, I'm like, I was born in 69. No, that's not how that works. You know? And then why am I getting carded? How? I got carded when my husband was deployed, and we've got 3 kids, right? My oldest one was 9 years old. I say our oldest one. It's his too, right? You know, our babies, right? So our oldest one was 9. So I had all 3 of the kids with me, and because he was gone, right? You know, always with him. And I bought movies at Walmart. Yeah, we're at Walmart, and I sent him a care package every week while he was gone, every single week. So I'd put movies in there and whatever else. And I had a rated R movie. I don't remember what the movie was, but it was a rated R movie. And the lady, it was an older lady, you know, she's checking me out. And she's like, you have to be at least 17 to watch this. And I thought she was saying this to me because I had the 3 kids with me, the oldest of which was 9 years old. The lady carded me. She carded me to buy a rated R movie. I had the 3 people, the little people that were with me, came out of me. I'm like, I am old enough to buy a rated R movie. It's okay, lady. I don't know. That was the funniest one for me ever. I mean, that's just like these things that I have with me. They're mine. Yes, I can buy a rated R movie. Yeah, I just thought she was being sweet and nice and, you know, to make sure that I didn't let the children watch that movie, you know. But no, she didn't want to sell it to me. I had to prove I was old enough so she would sell me the movie. Who knows what it was, but whatever, right? You know, send it off the way it went. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, we're comparing ages, huh? I think it's a state of mind. I don't know. Just whatever. Yeah, see, you know, the 70s wasn't just that was not that long ago. I wore bell bottoms to work the other day. My boss had commented on that. I'm like, what's old is new? What's old is new? I had bell bottoms on. You know, I'm like, they're selling them. They're selling bell bottoms. You know, I mean, these aren't the huge ones, but I mean, they're still bell bottoms, right? I'm like, I got this, right? I know this. I know this routine. I can get my hair big. I can do it, right? I just no. Yep. Well, see, Amanda, see, when you dye over your hair and everything and it's gray, you just look younger longer. That's all. You just, people don't guess because they don't understand, right? You know, that's how that works. It doesn't matter. Let's see. I've never went to my high school reunion, thought who are all these old people. I've not been to a high school reunion, but I can imagine. I can only imagine. You know, like, did you have that scenario with that hot guy? You know, the guy that you always wanted that wouldn't give you the time of day, or maybe you were the popular girl. I was not the popular girl. No, but you know, I think high school we all had that one guy, right? Was he bald? Was he fat and bald? I gotta know. Was he? Was he fat and bald? You know, the one that we always obsessed over, that we just, you know, that was the guy, right? Was he fat and bald? I mean, I have a weird sense of humor. In my mind, he was fat and bald. You know, oh, I gotta know. I gotta know. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm enjoying every opportunity. Oh, you know what? That's true. My husband, the day he turned 55, he's like, where can we go? Because evidently 55 is senior citizen next year. 55 is senior citizen. I don't understand how that works, but I always thought it was in the 60s. I didn't realize 55, but he can get the senior discount now. So that he's not one to like to go shopping, right? You know, the guys don't tend to like to go shopping. He's like, let's go. Where are we going to go? I turned 55. I'm going to go get a discount. Let's go. I want my discount. So that was his whole thing. So now he asks if they have a senior discount, and it cracks me up. And one of the stores that I go to and everything, they've got senior day, like 20% off for senior day, and it's 55, but you have to have proof. And I'm like, ooh, I'm close. August. I'm gonna get that discount. You don't think I'm gonna claim it? Heartbeat, in a heartbeat. 20% here. I'm 55. Woo! Not yet. August. I'll be doing that. Yes, I will. Just like he did. I'm like, hey, there you go. Got it. But it's so funny. Like, we need proof. Okay. You got it. Here's my card. Here's my card. I want my 20%. But yeah, I just think that just absolutely cracks me up. The man who does not like to go shopping turns 55. So let's go. Let's go shopping. Let's go out. Let's go out. I don't know if anyone else has that. That's ours. That was just cracking me up. Let's see. Oh my goodness. You're talking about dinner being ready? I have stuff on the stove downstairs. It's on low. It's okay. But I have stuff on the stove downstairs. We make our dogs food. My husband talked me into it months ago, and I fell for it, and I've been doing it ever since. The dogs love it. And I've got everything on simmer and everything down there. And if you've heard me talk about our youngest puppy, he's slightly feral. It's actually not a joke. He really is. But dog food day, he is the worst. What he does is he scratches to go out, and then he doesn't need to go out. But he goes out, and then he turns around, and he looks at you at the door. And he wants you to give him something to come back in. And then it has to be of the certain quality of the bribe to get him to come back in. But he does this all evening when I'm making the dog food. He's in and out. He's like a child. He has us so trained. He is like a child. And it has to be me that does it because he's still afraid of my husband. He loves him. He'll come over and lick his feet, but he won't let him touch him. He won't come in for him, but he'll come over and sniff and lick his feet. It's the weirdest thing. The dog is a little off. He just, yeah. That's our feral puppy. Yeah, so today's the day for cooking and everything and having the dogs drive us nuts. So I guess maybe having me with my door closed in my room and everything is not a bad idea right now because I don't hear him scratching, so we're good. I don't know. He gets me that way. He does. Oh, let's see. Too funny. I'm 64 soon. I have an old people's free travel card. I love it. I went to the university in 1978. Hello from Liverpool, home of the Beatles. Oh, wow, that's fun. Yeah, see, the whole age thing, it is a crazy situation. Do you remember being younger and old people looked old? Am I the only one? I don't remember people in their 50s and their 60s. You know, is it the hair dye? Is it the what is it? You know, I remember when people were like 50s or 60s or whatever, they looked ready. You know, one foot was in the, you know where I'm going, right? You know, I'm like, I don't see that now. You see people in their 50s and 60s, you're like, hey, they're out running around, they're doing stuff. I'm like, where are the grandparents when we were little? You know what I'm getting at? The age and everything, you know, and they're in the rocking chair and whatever, and you know, sitting at home knitting. Huh? I do that part. My mom taught me well. She said, I'm teaching you how to be a little old lady. She taught me that early. Got it. I learned well. Good student. But it can't be just me. I swear, people do not look their age like they did when I was younger. I don't know. Maybe they do where you're at, but I don't think they do. Oh, a shag cut? That is awesome. I haven't had my hair cut in a while. If you look at some of my older videos, I've got my hair is a lot shorter. My husband really likes the short hair. And I had an appointment. I was going to go get it taken care of. And I'm like, it's growing. I like it. You know, I'm like, it's just big. It's fluffy. It's out there. And he's like, he was watching one of the videos. It's cute. It's okay. So I'm like, sweet. And I haven't had a haircut in what, 6 months or so, something like that. I'm like, oh no, I just let it go. Just, you know, it does its own thing. And sometimes it works out. And it's just, you know, it's a lot. It's big and fluffy. It's, you know, he doesn't like 80s hair. And he knows when I get it long, I just like let it go. I'm like, just let it fly. It's okay. You know, in my face, he's like, well, you're doing better now. You're actually put some shape to it. Let's not get all carried away. I don't really do a whole lot of styling. It just does its thing. I just let it go. I wash it and let it go. It's like, okay. I don't have a hair dryer. I don't curl my hair. I don't have a curling iron either. It just does its thing. Okay. All right. Amanda said, no, she had a crush on a guy that does the fishing channel until she realized she's old. Oh. You're old enough to be his mama. That's naughty. But you know what? I look at like personalities on TV or something along that line. I call them poster people. You know, they're just the, you know, there's just the people. Hi, Jackie. How are you doing? But the poster people are, they just look pretty. They do their part. They look pretty. It's not like you have a chance to meet them in real life or any of that other stuff. You know, it's like, that's okay. They're poster people. It's okay. It's just fine. But yeah, you're old enough to be his mom. That's not fine. No, I work with people that are my kids' age, and that's kind of interesting. You know, it's like, oh, look, the two of the ladies that I work with are a year older than my oldest son, right? I'm like, oh, you know, so we'll talk and everything, and then the boss comments like, did you take care of your daughters? Okay, because, you know, I kind of mama the whole thing, you know. Once a mama, always a mama. You ever notice that? It's like you just do the motherly thing. It's like I have to say it. You don't have to listen. You don't have to take my advice. I just have to say it. Just let me say it, and then you just do your own thing. I've already given that warning. That's just how that works. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Scrolling down, trying to read some of the comments. Oh, I miss Carrie. Carrie said goodnight. Lynette, I was already talking about how you were really playing up Mad Mimi's crochet and farming and everything, and really thanking her for helping you so much so on your channel. Yes, and Jackie, your evil twin, has shown up. Jackie says that I am the vice president of the Arcane fan club. She is the president, or something along that line. I don't know. Just saying. Oh, speaking of which, I do have a giveaway. It's still going on. I'm drawing it on the 30th. Go find the video, watch the video, do whatever, what have you. 2 skeins, 2 is what I'm giving away because I'm addicted. It's not sponsored. Just, I like it and I want to share. And I figure if you touch it and play with it, you'll want more too. You know, because I'm just sharing. That's how that works, right? I found something enjoyable and wonderful. Yeah, that's just how that works. Oh, has anyone else seen that Life Renewed color from Arcane Fibers? Did you see just the dark colors with the hint of purple? And then you can pair that up with the plum color. Oh my gosh, I need that. I need that in my life. I just, you know, because the stack that's sitting right here that you can't see that's like staring at me going, what about me? Yeah, I blame Tyler. He makes gorgeous yarn, right? Just beautiful. Someone, yes, it's his fault, right? Yeah, it's, I don't know. But the good thing about that, if you do decide you want some or you don't, whatever, that's totally up to you. I'm not getting anything from it. I'm just letting you know. I think it's cool. Is if you miss a color, he'll make something else that you'll swoon over. So you won't really miss anything. There'll be something else that'll come along that you will swoon over. His colors are fantastic. They just are. Oh, the dog food recipe. All right, so it is meat, rice, and vegetables. Tonight's is sweet potato with white rice, and I've got chicken. So what I do is I start off with a beef bone. I know. Throw that in the water, and I let that simmer until all the marrow comes out, and then I'll add the chicken. I like it when I have the skin on. Tonight's was thighs, so they're frozen. I pop those in there and just let them simmer till, you know, all the wonderful broth. I use the broth from what I boiled everything in as the base for the rice, and then add in the sweet potatoes, and I cook the sweet potatoes in a stick of butter. And the way I make it, I do like 5 cups of rice at a time, and then, you know, 4 to 5 pounds of veggies. I'll mix carrots and sweet potato, but tonight was just sweet potato. Yeah, so it's a glorified stir fry. It really is, and they absolutely love it. Not gonna lie, there's been more than one night I didn't want to make dinner. Hubby just added hot sauce, and that was dinner. So you know, it's pretty fantastic. It's just we joked that the dogs eat better than the kids did because we can actually afford meat now that we couldn't afford when the kids were kids. Yeah, so I mean, it's just like, oh look, we have meat. Wow, you know, that was a novel concept when the kids were little. I mean, you know, they lived. We fed them. They lived. They did. It worked, right? We did the best we could. So, so that was that one. I figured might as well. Yeah. So you've got spoiled with dog treats. Oh yeah, see the dog treats. I'm telling you. There we go. Or this year was the first year that we bought, you know how you can buy a cow or a quarter cow or whatever it is? So we did that. We bought a quarter cow, and a friend bought another quarter cow, and then they asked if we wanted a little liver and everything. Yes, please. Yes, please. And she didn't want any liver, so I got all of that. So we got a lot of the liver, a lot of cow liver and everything with the hamburger and what have you. And sometimes I'll use the liver for the dogs too. They lose their mind. You know, I mean, they got to kind of fight with this on the liver because my husband, he really can throw down on liver and onions. I don't know. He soaks it in milk first. My son told him that. I don't know. But he puts it in milk first for whatever amount of time and everything. And he cooks everything. It is fantastic. So, yeah, just, yeah. So look at that. If you've ever, you know, liver and onions gross. Yeah, I mean, it can be. But soak it in the milk first. I don't know what it does, but wow. He does a great job. That is one I'm not taking on. That is he does the liver. I do almost all the cooking in the house, but he makes the liver. So that works out really well. 45 was a long time ago. 5 years ago for me. Yeah, you know, I'm 54. 54 years old. I'm doing it. There you go. Got this. I turned 50. It's the military. Yeah, I did 27 years in the military. Yeah, I turned 50 on a deployment. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I was with all the young people, right? It's just, you know, grandma. Yeah, grandma. Yep. Let's see. I had a great aunt who was born in 1868 and died when I was 13. Wow. Yeah, I can't imagine that. She's the coolest person. I can imagine she would be the coolest person. She'd look up at the sky at a plane and say, there are people up there drinking cocktails. Yeah. You know, I had a conversation with my son. And we were talking about, you know, how we have our cell phones, right? You know, obviously I'm recording on my cell phone right now, and it's a computer, right? It has all this stuff on it, because he was saying that for one of his jobs, he installs doorbell equipment, alarms, yeah, security alarms, right? So he installs those, and they send him out, and a lot of times with the, you know, the older crowd and everything, because he does such a great job explaining technology to them. They're like, oh wow, you're so patient, because you know they have the app on their phone and all this other stuff, and it's like normally it's a simple app, but depending on the age, it's not so simple. And I said, well honey, you have to look at, when I was younger, calculators were a high dollar item and were chained up. I am not the only one in this chat room who remembers calculators were the things that were chained up. Everyone didn't have calculators, let alone everything that's on your smartphone, right? But just the actual calculator. If you wanted to do something like that, the first day of school, you wrote out a times table. You had a grid, and you wrote 1 to 10 on each side. And, you know, you went over to the 1 to 10 and then down, and that's like, ooh, 6 times 3, over on the 6, down to the 3, where'd they meet? There's your answer, right? So you did things like that, but you didn't have a calculator. You know, those were expensive, you know, that type of thing. Or the other one is, I'm not the only one who remembers this, microwaves. Microwaves were something that your rich friend had. You didn't have one, but the rich family in the neighborhood had one. That type of thing when microwaves came out. And I was a teenager when microwaves came out. And then, you know, just those things that we take for granted every day now. I'm like, what? Who doesn't have a microwave? What's wrong with you? Nuke your food. There you go. And then you stand in front of it, impatiently tapping your foot, because you had to wait 2 minutes for that burrito that you used to have to put in the oven for 30 minutes. And heaven help you if you actually wanted 2 of them. You better know that before you cook them. Yeah, it's just, you know, just differences. So, oh, that's crazy talk. So I can't even imagine something like that. Yeah, there's no such things as planes and people, you know, it's like flying in the air. That's, you know, that's some science fiction stuff you never thought of. That's what that is. Let's see. Okay. There's a, yes, Jackie, I am part of the Arcane Fiber Facebook group. I have found such things. Yes, I have. So I am there. And oh, the colors. Oh my gosh. And everyone's making such gorgeous things. Like I said, go check it out. Just go look at it. It's eye candy. There you go. Have discipline. Don't click the button. You know what I'm getting at? Yeah. Says the person who placed another order today. We'll talk about that later. I couldn't resist. It's just, I asked my husband, but he's the biggest enabler. I'm like, hey, honey, talk me off the ledge. I don't need this. And he's like, what's wrong with you? Push the button. Yeah, he did. He did. I blame him. I take no responsibility for my own actions. Not when it's yarn related. Okay, so I take some responsibility, but I did go to him to help me. Come on, help me off. Help me off. You know, he is an enabler. He is such an enabler. Go get it. No, not only did he say go get it, he's like, is that all you got? Okay. Little packages, I can hide the fingering weight easier. That's just how that goes. Let's see. Yeah, my yarn wall. Oh, definitely. Love the yarn mess and wall and everything. Yeah, I've got all sorts of stuff. Yep. Let's see. So you live in Louisiana, you're coming from Skeens? Jackie, I don't know. Was that in something for, oh, okay. There you go. What did you buy from? All right, there we go. Sorry, I missed that one. Yep. No, I'm in Colorado and it's been cold. Yep. Not old enough to be your mom. Older sister? I'll deal with an older sister. I can deal with that. Everyone's saying hi to each other. And there's a lot of people in Louisiana. Yep. Yeah, the Arnie and Carlos stocking. Where did I put that? Did we see that? Is it around here? I don't know. I got a little bit of a mess. Yeah, I don't know where that's at. Maybe it's in this thing. Ooh. No, I've got sparkly hats and stuff in that one. I've got this one. That one was fun. I love that. That particular sequin yarn was a pain to work with, but boy did it come up as a pretty project. The pink sequin yarn was easy to work with, but that one not so much. Oh, yeah, we're still talking about the other things. Payphones, payphones or TVs, going to grandma's. Oh, okay. As far as TVs, there is no remote control. Who is the remote control? The child. Or when you actually timed things with commercials, because you'd have to hold it and go, wait to go to the bathroom. You didn't have to rewind. So you have to time stuff as far as that goes. Yep. Log tables, side rules. See, there you go, to learn the timetables. I get that. Your car asks. Yeah, you know, I know. I know I can do the text to talk. My husband does that on his cell phone and everything. I don't. I just whatever. And he's got it set up. It's like, hey, it knows when he's driving. I mean, mine knows when I'm driving too, but I'm not playing with it and texting. I don't need my phone to tell me that I'm driving. So if I'm trying to do something on his phone when he's driving, it won't let me. He's like, are you driving? No, I'm not driving. I'm playing on the phone, you idiot. But, you know, you can't talk mean to the phones because they're always listening to you. They're just going to mock you anyway. That's how that works. Yep. Yeah. And add-on, well, you know, you joke about the add-on to the craft room. You know, we do have a basement in this house. And not, like I said, everything is in my room. My son was over the other day and he's like, well, you know, this isn't like this is all of it. You've got boxes and bins elsewhere. No, I don't. No, this is enough. I mean, I'm not, no, no, I don't. And he's like, really? I'm like, no, everything's in here. But we've got some shelves and everything in one of the rooms in the basement. And it's really nice and there's lots of lighting and everything. And he's like, you know, with those boxes that you just got, you can always do overflow downstairs. Which he's right, but you know, that's kind of like that avalanche that will come out, right? You know, if you give me another shelf, I'm gonna fill it. Yeah, it's like in this, I had you know, every time you get a shelf, it gets full. Every time you find something else, it's like no. Yeah, so I'm afraid that if I leave the room in any way, shape, or form, and I let the yarn come out, it's gonna be that slippery slope. It's just gonna explode. It's gonna be everywhere. Yeah. I kind of like that idea. Just a little bit. You know, it's just kind of like, hey, every room in the house is my room. There you go. It's got my stuff everywhere. But yeah, it's been kind of nice just having it all in here. I've got a lounge chair in front of the window. It's covered with blankets and everything, but I have a lounge chair, you know, and this is not a tiny room, but I'm like, it's got enough. It's enough. I don't know. So it's funny. Yep. So yeah, you got that. Yeah, crocheting around New Zealand. Yep. Running to the bathroom and everything, going for the cup of tea, coffee, anything else. Lynette, if you're still here, thank you so much for joining. I greatly appreciate you coming along and being here. Rolls of film. Ooh, yeah, you remember that? When you took pictures and then you had to wait for a while to find out if they were decent and, you know, that type of thing. And then we took pictures, but we couldn't afford to get them developed, right? You know, and I obviously don't know where those, you actually still have some of the film. I wonder, can you take that to Walgreens or something and try to get them developed? Who knows? Do they even know how to do that anymore? Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Yo, we'll work for yarn. My yarn is everywhere. Yeah, we moved into this house 2 years ago, and I tried to keep everything in this room. This room is larger than in our previous house where I had my, you know, space that I had my yarn in, and I was able to. I actually have seating in here. The room was so small before. I had like one chair, and it wasn't like a big comfortable chair or anything, and that was it. And I actually have seating in here where I can sit, and then I have this little tiny hexagon table that my cell phone's on and what have you that I'm talking to you on. But I have space for that. And the last house we were in where I had my yarn and stuff, I mean, I had stuff, but I wouldn't have been able to do this. It would have just been, you know, okay, I'm in a closet. I'm in a closet. Here we go. I have yarn stacked around me in my closet. I'm not complaining. I'm pretty happy with it, right? But I have a better setup here. It's been kind of nice. I'm like, oh, look, the kids are gone. Oh, look at this. It's our own space. We got this. Let's see. I don't know. Hi, Teresa. Hi, how you doing? Oh, my goodness. I just, you know how crazy this is for me to think that somebody from New Zealand is watching me right now? You know, I mean, the internet is wow. You know, was this something that we were thinking of that many years ago that you would go online and you would talk to people from another country and going, hi, how you doing? Just let me pop on and have a conversation. I mean, I remember when cell phone calls and you know, you had to be careful calling the town over because it was long distance and make sure that it was the same area code. Now we don't care. You're like, whatever, where are you calling from? Good. You just call and it's not a big deal. Before it was like you had to really time it out and it was like your paycheck. Or the commercials. Who remembers the commercials for collect calls? You know, you would call and everything's like, who's calling? It's like, what was it? You know, had a baby, it's a boy. You know, there's a commercial, something along that line. You know, it's like, you know, who's calling collect? Had a baby, it's a boy. You know, and then that was it, and they hang up because that was your message, right? They had a boy and everything. They didn't have to pay charges. But yeah, that's not the case anymore. But those were hilarious. Yeah, you couldn't call long distance, you know, and then you had the different time periods because you're on different calling plans. When my husband and I first got together, we met in Germany. Well, I came back earlier than he did. We weren't married yet, you know, so he was still in Germany and then I was stationed in Virginia. And I did call him in Germany. And I knew my budget and I knew my bills, you know, and I was single, young lady, had my own paycheck, right? But it was pricey as an understatement. It was multiple dollars per minute, right? To call Germany. It was the craziest thing, you know, nothing like it is nowadays, right? But it was something. There you go. Bob, we had a baby, it's a boy. We used to always mimic those commercials and stuff, and those were hilarious. Or the Rothschild's candy, that was the height of sophistication. Not now, I'm eating a Rothschild, you know, and they would have all the different scenarios as you're eating this candy. Or the Grey Poupon mustard commercials, we all mocked those too, or repeated them. That's for sure. You know, the snobby thing and everything. You're driving up and somebody's like, ooh, do you have mustard? No, I have Grey Poupon. Like, who carries mustard in their vehicle like that? It's weird. But we all did it. Didn't really do that, but we all said those things. Yep. Okay, let's see. Germany, the country code for, yep. You know, what, the first time I called my husband, he wasn't my husband at that point, but the first time I called him in Germany, we were, you know, I had left Germany, he was still in Germany, and I had on a piece of paper his phone number. I had no idea. I had to call the operator to figure out how to call Germany because it's not like, hey, here's just the area code and the number. No, that's not how that works. So that was an interesting thing, just the learning curve of even how to call another country. Oh, that's just, yeah. No, I don't remember. I didn't remember the area code, but that is funny. Our code in Michigan was Normandy. Interesting. You know, I remember looking at my grandmother's phone book and everything, and she had words along with numbers for phone numbers, for phones and everything. I always thought that was weird or different. And they said that that's how they did it at that point. I'm like, all right, I don't get it, but I'm sure you understand. If you can decipher it, you can decipher it. But it's interesting how we do that. Or did anyone take shorthand in school? Was that given as an option? Did you learn shorthand? I signed up for it in, that was high school, middle school, end of middle school, high school. I don't remember the exact year. I did sign up for it, but they canceled it as a class option because it was antiquated, right? But I did sign up for it. I did want to learn how to do shorthand. And we did have a book at the house with shorthand that, you know, the beginners like primer and everything with shorthand. I wouldn't know how to do it now. Like I said, it's hieroglyphics, it's a lost art. But I did sign up for that at that point. We had typing in class, learning how to actually use typewriters. My kids never went to typing classes. They just naturally learned because now they don't actually have typing classes. You're just like, forget it, figure it out. My middle son learned how to type on the computer playing World of Warcraft, playing WoW with his dad at 6. And the funny thing about that is he has a 5-year-old now. You know, so he learned how to play at 6 years old, and his son is 5. So they were just comparing the notes and everything, going, huh, when do we get him involved in this, right? It's a generational thing because his dad is still playing World of Warcraft with him. They're still playing the games. I think they're still playing that one. I don't know. They still play the video games together. But it's the craziest thing. It's generational, okay? But that's literally how he learned how to type, was through video games, doing that. It was fun. Yep, you'd never had to call out of the USA. There's FaceTime. You know, and that's the other thing too. it was funny when I was in Maryland and everything. My husband wasn't with me. You know, he's military, right? So he wasn't with me, and we were calling, and it didn't dawn on us because it's a different time period, different time zones. We could FaceTime. Why were we not FaceTiming the whole time? I don't know. But once it dawned on us, then we were like, oh, well, I'm on the phone with you anyway. So then we'd FaceTime, and then we'd FaceTime, I'm cooking dinner, and you know, and he's at home doing the same thing type thing, but we're still there together. Uh, I mean, it's just weird that that's an option. I don't know. It's pretty cool. We have things we did. I couldn't do the cool home ec. You know, yeah, you're talking about the woodworking and mechanics and everything. No, didn't do that. I wasn't in those classes. Those were offered. I don't even think they're offered anymore. But home ec was another one. You know, hello, life skills. Isn't that kind of a nice thing? Or the other one, we had different accounting, and then we were taught how to balance a checkbook. People don't balance checkbooks. People don't write checks anymore. Okay, fine. I get you're not writing a check, but do you go over all of your expenditures? Are they at what you expected? So maybe you're not balancing a checkbook, so to speak, but that's not done anymore. It's like, I spend money till I don't have any. That's not how that works. You know that, right? That's not how. That's not how that works. And I taught my kids. I'm like, hey, come here, come here. You know what this is? This is my mortgage statement. Come on. So mom and dad pay for a mortgage. Let's look at this. Let's line by line look at this, right? You know, I did that with my kids. I did that with every one of their spouses. And you know what? That was the first time they saw a mortgage statement. Their spouses was when I showed it to them. I'm like, who's teaching you this? You need life skills. Life skills. You need to know how finances work, right? This is money. This is it, right? But to be married and not have ever seen a mortgage statement and not what that is and what that means or what have you, that blew me away. You have to learn life skills. Somebody's got to teach you. I mean, come on. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so Shirley said, if so, can I email you? I'm not sure if I missed something on that one. I do have an email in my description box, not on this thing yet, but in my videos and everything, if you're referring to me, I do put my email in there. So, you know, there you have it. Let's see. Couldn't wear trousers either. I didn't have that. Lots of snow in winter. I didn't have that where you couldn't wear pants. I know there were a lot of schools and a lot of different places where girls definitely couldn't wear pants. I was in a public school, so that wasn't an issue. We did have dress codes. Not like a uniform type of a dress code, but you know, we couldn't wear spaghetti strap dresses and stuff, and you know, revealing things, that's not cool. You know, stuff like that. You know, nothing too short, and you know, like showing everything. Nothing as far as that goes, but not uniforms. We weren't not where I was at anyway. Not to say that there weren't schools that had it, but my school didn't. Oh, I was in a small school. And had I graduated, I was there from 5th grade to 11th at that school, graduated in a different place. But had I graduated, it would have been a class of 87. So it was a very small school as far as that goes. I remember hearing songs like YMCA, you know, and going, I didn't know those were real things. I just thought it was a song. I didn't know that was a real thing. Hearing things like school nurse, I didn't know that was a real thing. You actually have school nurses? There's like a nurse at your school? I just thought that was a movie thing. You know, you see those in movies and everything. And there are other sports that I just thought were like in movies and stuff. They weren't like real things in schools. Those were just TV things. I don't know. I was an adult before I figured that out. Maybe I'm a little slow. It's okay. But school nurses, do you have a school nurse? Did you guys have one? No, we didn't have that. Yeah. Yep. Home economics, typing, accounting, shorthand, all of things. Oh, you did all of them? Yeah, I did the home ec, I did the typing, accounting. I wanted to be an accountant. I did. And that's before all the computer stuff and everything. I work with computers. But yeah, I didn't get to shorthand just because they canceled it. I wanted to. Yep. Hello from Colorado. Hope you're having a blessed day. I'm new to your channel. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, I'm in Colorado too, and it's been so much nicer. It has been. Yes, my daughter went to London a couple of weeks ago, and our calls and FaceTime didn't cost a thing. Yeah, see, that is crazy to me. That would be like a mortgage payment. I mean, are you kidding me? You just didn't call them. You just didn't. No. Mail. We're talking about old time things. mail. The term "you've got mail" wasn't a ding on like some chime thing. It was you went out to the post office or, you know, your mailbox, and you opened it and you waited for that letter, and you put stamps on them. And they weren't forever stamps. They actually had monetary amounts on them. And you put a stamp on it and you put it in the mailbox and you waited. That's how my husband and I communicated. Yeah, we wrote letters a lot. Because remember the whole multiple dollars per minute phone calls? And besides, when you're first getting together and you're dating, all you're doing is you're on the phone going, I miss you. I miss you more. Oh, I love you. I love you too. I miss you. You do that, and it costs you like $5-6 a minute. It's just the craziest thing. I did it. I did it. I'm not gonna lie. Just, you know. But yeah, you remember 300. I won't even tell you how expensive one of my phone bills was, but I knew it was going to be that way. I budgeted, you know, but it's just, yeah. Nope. But yeah, $300 long distance bill, Canada Talk, 1990s. I had you beat. We'll just leave it at that. Let's see. My parents forced me to take accounting. I couldn't even do maths. That's hilarious. I love doing math. I taught my kids how to do math. My middle one is a salesman, and different things, you know, acquisitions of companies and what have you. But, you know, it boils down to sales. He understands math and percentages. I used to have them do that when we would go shopping, and we didn't have cash. And you know how that goes. When you're raising kids, you got no money. But we'd go shopping and they're like, hey, Mom, can I have this? And I already knew how much the item was because it would say, and this is before they had the signs that would tell you what 25% off or 15% off was, you know, those little cheat sheet signs. And I already knew in my head what the number was. And if it was something that I was okay with them having, so, all right, how much is it? You know, and it would be, you know, $5, 20% off, whatever. I'm like, well, how much is that? And if they couldn't answer me and give me the correct answer, they didn't get it. So that was the way I did it, you know, and then I would ask them questions. 10%'s easy, move the decimal point, right? You know, 20%, move the decimal point times 2, right? You know, 25%, 1/4, divide it by 4. You got it, right? You can do all this stuff in your head. And I would have them do that, but then I would also throw them a curveball. What's 12%? Yeah, I would always do that, right? You know, it's like, what's 12%? What's 13%? You know, because then you have to do 10% and then the 10% and everything, turn that 1% times 2, add them together. Yeah, tell me that one, right? So I would get him like that, and yeah, he knows math, and he can do that with the sales and the percentages in his head and stuff like that. And it's like, thanks, Mom. You're welcome, buddy. The kids are at an age where you know the things that you did right, and you're like, I'm sorry for the things that you didn't. Because, you know, we all do them. You know, nobody has the book. And if you did have the book, it was written by some childish individual, or not childish, childless individual telling you how to raise children, right? You know, but we do the best we can. So there we go. Oh, let's see. I should probably go down to the newer parts and everything. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, so Shannon's here, the Spoony Stitcher. If you're not familiar with her, you can check her out too. But so another redhead, another Shannon. There you go, right? We're everywhere. So, yeah. So I liked sending the snail mail, and I put stickers on it and stuff like that. And I sent a lot of things. I did a lot of mail when I was in Germany, and I sent a lot of letters to my parents, my mom and dad. And you know, they'd kept those letters and things like that. And I had, at one point, I had a box of the letters from them too. But, you know, it's been a lot of years. It's been decades and a lot of moves. So who knows? Do I have some packed in a box somewhere? Maybe. I wouldn't hold my breath, but I might. I might. I really might. I just don't know. That's just how that goes. Well, let's see. Still send cards and letters and mail. That's wonderful. So have you noticed that? People don't really know how to address an envelope. If you're sending stuff in mail and everything too, you probably remember learning that as a child, and they would tell you where you place things, right? Placement is important, how to put that out, you know, the city, the state, where the comma goes, where the zip code goes, all that stuff. I realize I don't think my kids know. I mean, they might see other letters. Obviously, they're adults. They've gotten things in the mail. But to just know how to write a letter and stamp it out and everything, I don't think they necessarily know. They don't know how to diagram a sentence. I know that. You know, we learned that when we were younger. I don't know how to do that. They don't teach those things anymore. For that matter, my kids don't know how to write cursive writing. They don't teach that, and because the teachers who didn't teach it, they refuse to learn it from me. They regret that, but you know, mistakes were made. It is a true story. They do not know how to write cursive. They can recognize some of the stuff over the years, but they don't know how to write it like, you know, that type of thing. For that matter, I don't write cursive so much so anymore. When I write letters, you know, I've written things like we've got the Mystery Yarn Challenge, and I will send a box off and I'll write a little note, and I start to write it and I want to write it in cursive, but then I think, wait a minute, does the recipient know how to read it? Not a joke. And I don't know, and I think that they probably do, but that is something that I am cognizant of. I'm like, I don't know if they can read that, you know, so I'll make sure that I write something in block print or something like that, because, you know, people don't read cursive writing anymore. I can still write it, but it's hieroglyphics to most people. I don't know. It's weird. Yep. Let's see. Hello. Tell your grandson I think thank you for your service. Oh, very nice. We've got more military members, and that's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, see, I like doing cursive writing, but unless I know the person can read it, then you're sending something that they, you know, that I think a lot of people can write their name in cursive, kind of like, you know, hey, what's your signature here? They write an X, that's it, right? But they don't know how to read it, so I'm trying not to do that. Cursive writing, kids can't read it. Yeah, it is a good code. You're right. That's no kidding a good code. And cursive can be beautiful, but yeah. So that's another one, you know, it's hard enough to read somebody's block script, let alone their cursive writing. You talk about being shorthand, being outdated. Cursive writing is the same. You know, so we talk about that and everything. So, well, what are all the things that you can't read? And the other thing that it makes it really sad that they don't teach that is for, you know, we're in America. Most people in the United States, they learn English. That's it. They don't have any other languages. They don't have any other language skills. Other countries learn whatever their country language is plus English or something along that line. They have multiple languages. The best time to learn languages is when you're a child. It activates different parts of your brain, the multiple languages, you know, the multiple meanings for the same word, right? And that's what cursive writing does. So you've got lowercase, which is one language. You've got uppercase, which is another language, because your brain has to interpret, you know, the lowercase a, uppercase a, right? And then you also got, if you look at it and you're doing cursive, you're doing that again with the lowercase and the uppercase, same thing. So you're really working with your brain and interpreting, understanding multiple languages, and you're, you know, a little bit smarter that way. That's the time to do it. Yeah, I think we're getting dumbed down. You know, why would we want to learn that? We've got a computer. Careful who programs the computer. Garbage in, garbage out. G-I-G-O. Yep. Yeah. So, Christy, you didn't like cursive writing? You know, I like cursive writing, but my writing has always been really sloppy. You know, people will say, oh, you know, here, you write it, you're a girl. That type of a situation, especially in the military, you know, because whatever, 85% guys, 15% women. And I'm like, no, you don't want me writing it. No. I always got in trouble because my handwriting was so sloppy. I tried, but it was so sloppy. Did my best. Just, there you go. But I still think that it's a skill that we should have, but I'm not the ruler. I don't want to be the ruler, truthfully. I don't want to be the ruler. Who wants to be the ruler? That's weird. Let's see. Teresa says that's something that upsets me, that cursive writing is not taught in elementary school. How will they ever be able to read the Constitution? And see, that's exactly our point on that one. You should, whatever your agreement on and everything, not politics, but, you know, you should be able to read our founding documents. And when you can't read cursive writing, you know, then when we're gone and we have the cursive writing, then you're dependent on somebody else to translate it for you and mistranslate it, whether purposefully or on accident. You should be able to read those documents yourself. So that is a concern right there. And I think it was my kids were on 5th grade when I realized that they weren't able to write cursive. It didn't dawn on me what age I was when I started learning. So I wasn't on top of, you know, oh, I was this age when I did that. So when I brought it up to their teacher, like, oh, they should have already learned that. I'm like, they've been in your school. What do you mean they should have already learned that? You guys didn't teach them that, you know? And they're like, oh yeah, we're not going to. We don't have time. And when I tried to work with them on that, because the teachers weren't teaching it, you know, because the teachers are so much smarter than mommy and daddy, the teachers weren't teaching. I don't need to know that. My teacher says I don't need that. So yeah, that's how that went. We had some arguments. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, yeah. You know, who's the most important person in their life, mommy or the teacher? Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's another story. That's another one. That's how that goes. Let's see. Cursive writing. I agree. Cursive writing should be taught in all the schools. Yep. I wrote my mom a note one time when I was in middle school still. She thought my dad. Yolanda, that is funny. What'd you write? Were you trying to get out of class? Were you doing that? Were you trying to do the this is for my parent? I never did that, but I saw it on TV a lot. I don't know if it ever worked, but you know, they worked on TV. The TV kids got away with that. I don't know. I might have been able to. My mom was legally blind and her handwriting was worse than mine. Yeah, I might have. But yeah, I didn't do those types of things. I just, you know, like, take advantage. There you go. We got this. Oh, Lori's here. Lori's a school teacher. Okay, Lori, tell us. Do kids actually write the notes and try to get away with that? You might have answered that. Let's see. I taught high school math, and it was clear to me when students stopped learning cursive. Cursive was previously taught in 5th grade. See, you know, I wasn't sure the grade, and that was here in Colorado, Lori, is when the oldest hit 5th grade and everything, I had gone to the class because I was remembering writing different things. And I remember going to my teacher. I was embarrassed. And I'm like, I asked how to spell my last name. I was adopted, and my last name, you know, changed because I was adopted, and it was a long name, you know, lots of different letters and stuff, and I wasn't sure if the I and the E were flipped, you know how that goes, and I went and I didn't want to say this out loud, and I asked the teacher very nicely, I'm like, how do I spell this? And it was in cursive writing, so I knew that was 5th grade, right? You know, I did have a memory of that in 5th grade that I was writing things, and when my son wasn't, and I'm like, when are they learning this? That's when it dawned on me, you know, because I had that story in my head, and no, they weren't teaching it. That's all there was to it. And yeah, I lost that battle on that one. So he can he can sign his name in cursive writing, but that's it. Yeah, lost art, lost skill. Yep. I was not happy with that. So I had a student from Canada 20 plus years ago and said they didn't teach cursive in Canada. Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, definitely not here, not anymore. I mean, maybe some schools and everything, but the ones that my kids went to, they didn't. So that was kind of a shock, a little bit. Like, really, guys, come on. And yeah, you know, and even when the little guy, the oldest was in kindergarten, I remember I did some homeschooling with him before I sent him to school. You know, teaching some things. You know, because first time mommy, let's teach you things, and let's teach you your alphabet, and let's teach you how to write things. And he knew his alphabet before he went into kindergarten. And I remember the teacher talked to me that they make a big deal out of the 100th day of school, you know, big party, the whole 9 yards. And I had gone for that, and she's like, why is he here? I'm like, what do you mean, why is he here, right? She said, yeah, we haven't taught him anything. So at that point, they were just working on the sight reading the word the. Just the word the. Okay, so she was putting him off into the other classes because he was actually reading books, right? You know, and it wasn't like a great reader or what have you, but that was, we didn't have any money, so we went to the library, and you know, I'm like, hey, let's check out all the books, right? You know, and I found out, limit of 50. Yes, I found that out. You know, and we would go and we would read all the books. You know, so books were always a good thing. But yeah, they were working on sight reading the word the, and I'm like, hey, Brandon, write the alphabet. And he said, to what letter? What do you mean to what letter? Write the alphabet. Well, to what letter? Because they were only up to the letter S. Okay, thanks. And they weren't using lined paper, just a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of typing paper, and there you go. I'm like, we can't use lined paper. So, no, the school district won't let us use lined paper. Really? Not even the line paper. Remember we grew up and everything with the blue lines, the little dashes and stuff on it, and it kind of help you to get your letters and, like, you know, so they're not this big each? No. No. That's disappointing. That's disappointing. Things you learn. Things you learn. I'm not saying I was a great teacher. That's not what I was getting at. I was a substitute teacher for a while. But, I mean, come on. Come on now, guys. Come on. He went backwards. It's just, he went backwards. Yeah, he definitely went backwards. Spelling, Shannon, they don't teach spelling now either. I guess spell check, right? If it has a red squiggly line underneath it, you're good. You know, you do have to know what the words are supposed to look like before you even get to the red squiggly line. You know that, right? Or you know, none of your business. N-U-N of your business. It's not going to give you a red squiggly line because N-U-N is still none. That's not what you meant. But it will work, right? It's just, okay, yeah. You forged your mom's signature, Lori? That's terrible. I didn't do that. I was like a little Miss Goody Two-Shoes. I was afraid of getting in trouble. I didn't do stuff like that. I was too afraid. Definitely too afraid. Linda says, my sisters and I were 2 years ahead when we came back from overseas. I wouldn't doubt it. DoD schools were advanced, apparently. They might, you know, depending on which ones you went to. I don't doubt it. I really don't. And depends on what school district you've gone to. No joke. Yolanda says, one of the kids here tried to write a fake note for school and signed it my mom. No kidding. That's awesome. That is hilarious. Lori says, believe me, they try to teach spelling. However, with the use of technology, they have access to spell check, so they often don't learn how to spell. Yeah, I get that. I did some substitute teaching with my son's class when he was, you know, just first, the oldest one, when he was first starting in school. And, you know, like I said, we're reading books, we're doing stuff, right? And they did a field trip and it's like, hey, what's your favorite animal, right? And the kids were writing things down, and I got to see the different levels of the children and how much maybe attention that they had at home, and how much time period, how much was really spent with them. So I did not know that a child could put that many consonants together, and did not know that that was nowhere near a word. I just, you know, I'm like, what are you trying to spell, honey? You know, and it was just a bunch of, it was just like they took the alphabet, you know, if they had them all on just like like little plastic letters, and threw them up and went, there's my words. That's not a word. That's not, it was interesting is an understatement. It really was. I'm like, ooh, that's okay. Now I get it. Now I get it. Again, not saying my child's a genius. Not saying that. Nope. Let's see. Yeah, see, and that was it. We tried to, Donna and I tried to teach the kids that too, is just to get them something along that line, and recognize letters and stuff, and telling time, right? You know, and I can imagine that's not a thing anymore either. You know, learning how to tell time. You know, this is what 3 o'clock looks like with the hands, right? The hands. Everything's digital. Do kids know how to do that anymore? I don't think they do. Like an actual clock? No, that's another one. Oh my gosh. Remember going to the library? Obviously you do, because you had stamping the books out for the class. You know, you go there in the Dewey Decimal System and you had to go look up where your book was. Yeah, that's a lost skill. That's not. Kids have no clue. Crocheting around New Zealand. I'd write signs for furniture and sellotape them to around the house for the kids. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Lori, I can understand that the kids would be noticeably ahead in Europe. I think that my perception and interpretation is they actually concentrate more on the learning stuff and less on the other stuff you're probably forced to teach your kids. That's a good way to put it. So you were the goody two-shoes too? Man, I was such a goody two-shoes. I just, you know, I'm like, I didn't do any of that stuff. I didn't do drugs and alcohol and drinking and none of that stuff. And then I got in the military, and, you know, my kids talked about, like, hey, Mom, when you get out and everything, we're going to get you high. They all talked about it and thought it was funny and everything. But I guess evidently the pot nowadays is like just really way out there, and I'm not interested. So, I mean, I've gone this far. Why? I don't need to. But they all thought it would be funny. They joke about it. You know, it's like, we're gonna get Mom high when she gets out of the military. We're going to get you high just to see what you do. It's okay. I'm okay. I don't need to do that. But it's funny. Just not gonna, no. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Parents don't even communicate with their kids now. Yeah, that is true. We were talking about that. My friends and I, we were at Panera Bread just knitting, you know, just sitting in the corner knitting and eating lunch and everything, you know, why not? And we had noticed a mom and a couple of kids, and they had like an iPad out and everything, and it was on the iPad stand. Each one of them had their own device, and they were all like this, and they didn't look at each other and they didn't talk to each other. Like, why? I just, no. I'm really thankful that I didn't have this stuff when my kids were little, and we didn't have that to deal with. And I'm really happy that when I grew up, my mom was like, go outside. And we went outside. Then you just went and played with the dogs. And, you know, I got to grow up and everything, and on a 10-acre family farm. It wasn't really a farm. We had chickens and ducks, but, you know, I mean, there was no kill area. We didn't kill anything. But we ate the eggs. But, you know, we had all the different animals as pets and stuff, and like, go outside, go play. You know, and I can't imagine this nowadays. Just no. And I feel for my kids, you know, because we got the grandkids and everything, and I see the technology and stuff, and you know, and that's the pacifier now. It's just like, here, there you go, and you know, and I don't even know how you combat it. I don't. Mm-mm. Nope. Let's see. I always give my kids, my 2 kids, workbooks for the next grade. They're going, yeah. I don't doubt that. I still like going to the library. It's fun. I made up games to teach my kids to read. My 7-year-old son could read like 4. Yeah, I would I tell my kids the alphabet and everything, and then for a while they were always singing the alphabet backwards until they started to catch on, and I thought that was probably a bad idea. You know, I can't sing it backwards now, but yeah, I could sing the alphabet, you know, forwards and backwards. You know, and anytime you're stuck in the car, you sing the alphabet to them until they can't stand it, right? Because you're going to learn it. They're captive audiences anyway, and we didn't have the technology, so it's like, you're going to listen to me sing the alphabet. You know, we don't have that ability now. Let's see. How do you really deal with the no earbuds and the no family dinner? Okay, 2 teenagers at home. Okay, family dinner. I thought you were talking about like at school. I'm like, how do you do that? Because, you know, I think even the military and basic training, they're allowed to have their cell phones with them. What? No. Obviously, when I went through basic training, we didn't have such gadgets and devices or anything like that. We still had payphones, and then that was a privilege, and you could maybe get to the payphone maybe once a week if you're lucky and you didn't get in trouble. And there's a lot of ands, right? No, you did not get to do these things. So then let alone, you know, here it was a massive privilege to maybe once a week, you might get a couple minutes at a payphone, right? To now they have their cell phones. Mm-mm. No, you did not go through the same military hazing that I went through. I'm just going to say that. You just didn't. Look at me. I'm trying to not do the knife hand, right? You know, because that's the knife, just, yeah. If you know, you know. Yeah, I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. You know, there's just things that are ingrained. It just, you know, it's been a lot of years. It's just ingrained. Yep. Ooh, how do you do a technology free zone for a whole day? Wow, they don't revolt? I guess it depends on the age and everything. That's crazy. I can't imagine my grandkids being like that. You know, the kids and the grandkids. Well, for that matter, I'm filming every day. I'm doing something every day. You know, I'm posting. I have been. It's been 7 months. I'm wondering when I'm going to slack off. Haven't figured that one out yet. I don't know. You know, so I don't know. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see it. Maybe. It would be an interesting one. That's interesting. Yeah, I was at the thrift store the other day and everything, and looking at the different games and going, do kids play games anymore? You know, the different board games and Connect Four and the memory games and Candyland. I'm like, dude, I don't care. You're 4, 5, 6. The oldest one's 8. You know, grandkids and everything. You want to play Candyland? I'm there. I'll play Candyland with you. I loved Candyland as a kid. I know I'm an adult. I could play other games. I don't care. There's something about it. You want to play Candyland with Nana? Let's play Candyland. I still haven't had anyone take me up on it. I'm like, I will play Candyland with you for an hour. Let's go play. I just, you know, maybe I'll have to get him next time. I'm going to get another game of Candyland. We're going to play Candyland. That's right. You're going to go down. I'm going to win you at Candyland. I got this, right? It's just, let's go. Come on. You know, I told you, the whole childish level, spades, baby. I got it in spades. Yeah. It's just... And so all there is to it. All there is to it. Michelle says, whenever my hubby and I go out, we always discuss the ridiculousness of everyone at the table on a cell phone or a tablet. We're always blown. Yeah, You can just watch them. You can just sit there and watch them. It just, yeah, they're, nope, nope. Basic training over 20 years, no cell phones allowed, only when you went to take. Okay, so when I went through, we didn't have cell phones. I mean, it wasn't necessarily no cell phones allowed. I went through basic training in 87. There were no cell phones. It wasn't an issue. Yeah, 87. I turned 18 in basic training. I was just a little girl. I grew up. Yep, I grew up. Yeah, felt sad for like, yeah, you can't have any fun with that. Everyone's on their own phone, their own tablet, their own whatever. You know. Yeah, and you know, same way, you know, my husband, Landon, my husband won't play Monopoly with me. He says I cheat. I don't, but I win. And he doesn't like that. So he says I cheat. So we had that even when, so we had Monopoly and everything. And then, you know how sometimes you get the electronic version, right? You know, different ages and everything. So even, this was multiple decades ago, so when they first started coming out electronic versions, I would win on that too. And he's like, you cheated. I'm like, how do I cheat on this? It's not mine. This is the game. So he won't play Monopoly with me. He won't. So, you know, that's okay. I'm actually pretty lucky at some of those games, so there you go. Ooh, Chutes and Ladders is another one. I'm there. Candyland, Chutes and Ladders. That one is actually one of my favorites, the Chutes and Ladders. Yep. Yep. Snakes and Ladders, shoot. Yeah, exactly. Snakes and Ladders, Chutes and Ladders, however you want to call it. I remember that game. Fond memories. I want to play. I think I'm going to have to get some of those. I'm going to have to get some of those with Grandkids. I don't know if they'd play, though. Because it's not the cool, fun technology and everything, whatever, right? I think they would quit before I did. I don't think they would have the attention span, but I'm going to try it. I'll report that back. I will definitely do that. I like backgammon too. We do have that one, and I played that with my husband. And that's a 50-50 on who wins on that one, so that one he'll play with me. But the ones where I win most of, for whatever reason, he's like, nope. Yep. Yeah, see, you know, most people are adults who are like, no, I don't want to play the Chutes and Ladders, the Candyland. It's a game that never ends. I'm not interested in it. The kid wants to play for hours, but the adult doesn't. Well, you know, I'm the childlike adult. I'm like, I'll play with you. So I got to get my kids. Yep. Oh, so basic training 99? Yeah, basic training 87. So big differences. Big differences. No technology, board games, skill games like pick-up sticks. Do the kids know how to play pick-up sticks anymore? Walks and creative activities, baking for Sunday tea. Lots, yeah, no joke on that. Yeah, I had pick-up sticks. I like that. I like the different games like that, you know. Kerplunk was another one that was fun. That you used that with the pick-up sticks and the marbles. That was a fun one. Yep. Jenga's fun. I haven't done that one in a while. These are some fun games to get back and everything and have with the kids. That's good. Oh, good night everyone that has to go to bed. I don't blame you. Hey, what should I do for tomorrow's video? I haven't recorded it. I don't know. I'm procrastinating. It's like, whatever, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, yeah, see, I like Scrabble too. My dad always liked Scrabble and he liked Boggle. He always beat me in Boggle. I learned how to, you know, different words and everything, but, you know, he was an adult and smarter. I mean, what do you expect? But we always did those types of things. And with my kids, when we did get games and stuff, I'd always wait for like the leapfrog things to go on sale, and I would try to get those, or the math games, and you know, they call them STEM games now, you know, science, technology, engineering, math, but I would always try to do things along that line that had a learning aspect to them. I tried anyway. Kay says I didn't let my kids have any digital watches. They had to learn how to read a clock. Yeah, I don't think the kids know that anymore. I also taught them cursive writing so they would be able to sign important documents because the school didn't. Yeah, Kay, by the time I realized my kids didn't know how to, the teachers were saying you don't need to. Mom said you did. And yeah, that was ugly. That was ugly. Yeah, they regret it, but that's just, you know, when the teachers have them 8 hours a day and you've got them awake for how many hours, it's a fight. It's a fight. That was that constant, one of the mantras of my household is, I care about you and I have your best interests at heart. They don't. If they get it wrong, they don't care. They got another kid next year. You're my kid. But, yeah. Yeah, you know, teachers are so much better. Yep. See, I told him that way it would be harder for someone to forge their signatures and take advantage of them. That's good. So now my daughters are teaching their kids the same thing. Yeah, that was really brilliant on your part. I mean, maybe you realized that they weren't teaching it. I just didn't at that time, or I would have had them already learning when I still had more control over them. Because yeah, there comes a time. There definitely comes a time. Yeah, backgammon and Greece is played really fast. You have to be good at math. Oh, that's interesting. Didn't know that. Didn't know how to read a digital clock. I had to get my kids to interpret the time for me back at, well, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I loved playing Yahtzee. Yeah, it was good with math and everything. Playing Yahtzee, play multiple games at once. For quite a while, I was raised as an only child, so I'd play Monopoly by myself. I would play Yahtzee by myself. I would play all these games by myself. So then I would have, the different sides, and I'm playing the white and the black for the backgammon, and I'd have multiple pieces on for Monopoly and stuff, and rolling the dice and everything. Yeah, I got creative. It did. I got creative. That's a good way to put it, right? I mean, it's just what you do, right? Not everyone is in a household with a lot of siblings. And, those children like me, I was not an only child. I just got to be raised as an only child for quite a few years. But the ones raised as an only child or are only childs, you have to be creative on your own. You're just by yourself, so you come up with things. Which is probably why my imagination is the way that it is. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is definitely why my imagination is the way that it is. Oh wait, I'm gonna have to get off. I am. My battery's gonna go. It's giving me the little warnings if I don't get off. I did that one time and I didn't realize it. And I was in the middle of a word and everything. It kept saying the same thing over and over. And then I got my phone charged back up afterwards. But it wouldn't let me back into my live so I could end it gracefully. So for like 15 minutes, it was, the same line, like over and over. It just, and I had people commenting, going, hey, your feed's stuck. Hey, and I couldn't get in, so I'm commenting and going, it's over. Just go home. It's over. And just, I don't know. If anyone knows how to get back in once you've been kicked out or what have you, put that down in the comments. It's a skill I'd like to learn. But to avoid having that happen again, I'm going to have to go ahead and read these other comments and end this because I don't want that to just end ungraceful or what have you. It was funny, but maybe not for the people who are trying to actually comment. Yep. Oh, Math Blaster was fantastic. We definitely had that for the kids. Was the Math Blaster, the Spelling Blaster. We had them in Kumon for learning math also. Yeah, they loved that. Yep, the passing the quizzes, getting the points, and oh, those were the best. Yep. And when I came home from school, I'd teach all the dolls. See, that's what only kids, only children, raised as an only child. That's what you do. You have your dolls and your toys. And I didn't have an imaginary friend necessarily. I didn't have that. But I still played both sides of the Monopoly board. I still played both sides of backgammon. I still played Yahtzee as multiple people. So yeah, I'm not split personality, but I sure played like one. It's what you do. You have to, right? Yeah, table games, communication, learning skills. Yeah, I don't think that's the thing anymore. That's what you learn. That's the whole, they talked about that as the parents sitting around the dinner table or something along that line. It's harder if you have both parents working. I know my husband and I were both working when the kids were younger. There are just things that you don't get as much time with your kids. You don't get to do those types of things. I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, but, finances and everything else, yeah, life. We know that. We know that. There's a Pixar short called Jarrett's Game, an old man playing himself in checkers and chess. Yeah, that's me. Oh, it's 4:30 in the morning? Wow. I get to work from home tomorrow, which is nice because I get to sleep in. But I don't really get to sleep in because my little puppy that's semi-feral, he still gets up and I still have to get him out. But I don't have to fix my hair because I don't necessarily have to be on camera. I'm working from home. I'm still working so I can have bedhead. Let's put it that way, so I don't have to do all the whatever, right? This saves time. It does. I get to ease into the morning a little bit more. Don't have to drive in. Yep. Yeah. So it is 9:40 p.m. I'm Mountain Time right now. Everyone else is like, wow, it's definitely some seriously different times here. It just blows me away that you got New Zealand and you got Australia. and just different countries and stuff that are all connected through YouTube. Like, hey, hi guys, I'm awake. Okay, that's crazy. I was watching one earlier in the morning, you know, it's like 6 a.m. my time and everything. Actually, a little bit before then, they were doing a live because it's definitely different times. I'm like, oh, I'm getting ready to brush my teeth, get ready for the day, and you're evening live. Let's say hi. Let's join in. It's crazy. Yep, it is crazy. My Friday nights are never exciting. I enjoy my quiet nights, and yep, Yolanda, your mountain time too. You know, this is my whole enjoyment. Whether I'm online, most of the time, obviously, I'm not online, but I'm doing the same thing anyway. I'm I'm in my yarn room. The rooms. I love the house setup that we have here, because you know the houses that will have the large loft and everything when you go up the stairs. You know that. Well, that's set up as the game room and the TV room and what have you. So on the other side of this wall is my husband. So even when I'm in here, I can hear him. He can talk to me. I can talk to him. I'm still in my little enclosed area playing with my yarn and stuff. And he's in his. We can still have conversations. I can still hear the TV that he's watching or what have you, or a comment. So I'm not missing anything with him and he's not missing anything with me. It's a nicer setup than, you know, if I'm in the basement and he's upstairs. Well, then we can't talk to each other. And, you know, he wants to be where his stuff is and I want to be where my stuff is. And, yeah, that type of thing. So, I don't know. I need to go because this is down to 3% and my phone will die. So you guys have a great day, night, evening. For me, it's night, but for others, it is the beginning of your day and you are moving on. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Oh, you can read digital clocks now? There you go. New skills, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let everyone go. You guys have a great day. It has been such a joy talking to everybody, and I greatly appreciate you taking your time and spending your evening procrastinating with me. Bye, everybody.